Hello, this is Professor Toliat from City University of New York. At this video, we want to solve a problem with C++ programming and we want to do it in Eclipse CDT. So first of all, what is the problem? The problem is this: write a program that asks the user to enter a grade. So this grade should be integer value. And then by using the switch case statement, we want to display that the number according to the grade. If the grade between 90 and 100, the number that we want to show is 4. If the grade is between 80 and 89, then we want to show, for example, 2, or no, so we want to show 3, and if it is between 70 and 79 we want to show 2. If it is between 60 and 69 we want to show 1, and if it is lower than 60 then we want to show 0. So what we want to do, first of all, let me tell you that what we want to do here. So what is the variable? Imagine that is our memory. So variable is a temporary storage that we want to take in our memory. Which memory? A RAM. So imagine that our RAM has many sectors, from 0, imagine that it is 256 sectors. Then we want to say that, okay, for example, this part of the memory I want to reserve for A, this part, for example, for B. We want to assign a temporary memory. Now, we want to assign a part of the memory for the integer. We are saying that whatever that it is inside of this memory should be integer. Now, at this problem, we want to ask the user to enter a variable for us, that this variable is the integer. So we are defining this variable as an integer, that the name of this variable is grade. Then we are saying that, okay, whatever inside of this variable we want to store, it should be integer. Now, when you are saying that, for example, imagine that we want to store 9.2 inside of the grade, but because the grade is integer, so because it is the integer, so 9.2 should be 9, not, so it is truncate from after the decimal point. From the decimal point, rest of that we will truncate it. So imagine if we want to store, for example, the grade, for example, 9.205 to A. If A is double, so we don't have any problem. But if it is integer, for the integer we have problem. What happened? Because we cannot actually store this number in the integer variable. So what should be happen here is that after the decimal point should be truncated here, and only 9 would be actually would be stored in the integer variable. Now let's write this program according to this explanation. First of all, we are working with the Eclipse. First of all, we should make the C++ project. That I'm saying that always, that at first we want to make the folder, and then inside of the folder we want to create a file. Now, first of all, we want to create a folder. The folder name or the project name would be, for example, anything. For example, imagine grading. And then we should select that empty project. We want to write our own project, so it's the empty project. And then we should, because I'm using the Windows machine, so I'm selecting the MinGWGCC, the compiler that it is installed in the Windows machine, and then click on finish. And now the grading is appear here, and then I want to create the file inside of this folder. So right click on the grading, this project, and then new, from the new source file, and in source file any name that you want, try to give the different name from, so this is a source file, it is a source folder, the folder was grading. I recommend you to give the different name from the folder, any name that you want to give, but after that should be .cpp. And then here we go, we are ready for writing our program. The first line for this program, any program, C++ programming, should be started by the defining the library that we want to use. The basic actually library that we are using is the basic library is IOStream. And what happened here that I have an error here because the color, it doesn't change to the keyword. The problem is here, I forgot to put a sharp include IOStream. If I put, so if anything is correct, the color is changed to this. And then using namespace std, I want to announce that I want to write a standard. Std is brief expression of a standard. I want to write a standard program, and then I want to start my program with the main function. I told you any C++ programming, any C++ program has many functions, but at least it has the main function. Main function should be started by open and closing brace. Now I'm ready to actually declare my variables. The first thing should be variable declaration. The only variable that I want to use at this program is grade. I want to ask the user to enter the grade for me. Please enter your grade. And then I want to go to the next line, so I'm using the \n, and then by semicolon I'm ending my actually executable line. Don't care about these errors, because you should finish your program, and then you should look at your errors. So I asked the user to enter the grade. When he or she enter a grade, we need to read it by what? By seeing. By seeing, we are reading the input. The input should be the grade. Now I'm ready to use the switch case statement. Switch is the keyword, and now let's look at here. So now what I want to do, what is the switch case definition? Here we want to compare the result inside of the parentheses with the result across each case. If the result of this is equal to result, the number, the value, anything that across of the case, then if it is equal to this, then we will switch to this part. If it is equal to this case, we will switch to this part. So the switch means that we compare the result of the inside of the parentheses with each case. If it is equal to each case, then we will switch to that part, and we will execute the statement that related to that case. So this value could be anything, could be number, could be character A, B, C, or 10, 12, or 100, 1000, 1 million, anything. But we want to compare exactly this should be equal to this. We are saying that we want to, for example, compare with start from this. So for example, is it equal to 10? Is it equal to 9? Is it equal to 8? Is it equal? So let's see what we want to say. If it is equal to 10, according to the problem, we don't have anything for that. We said that for if it is between 90 and 100. Now what we want to do, first of all, we want to instead of comparing, for example, each number 92, 93, 94, so because we should have 100 cases here, but we don't need 100 cases. Why? Because we here we have range, so it is one range, two ranges, three ranges, four ranges, and for the rest of these, so the five range, the fifth range would be actually uh, the all numbers less than 60. So actually clearly we have range, well, we are dealing with the range. So for doing so for doing this, we should actually, so we have 100 grids, but we want to transform this 100 grids to the 10 ranges. How we can transform it? By divided by 10. When you divide actually the grid, so imagine that the grid is 93, you divide it by 10, so it is 9.3. But what happened here? As I told you, the grid is integer, so when we divide it by 10, it is 9 point. So for example, imagine that the grade is 93. 93 divided by 10, so it is 9.3. We because it is the integer, the memory, the part of the memory that we reserve is the integer. So according to that, it should be 9, not 9.3. So 9 goes here, so the result, if it is 91, if it is 90, if the grade is 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 6, 7, 8, 9, all of them would be coming to the so the result of this should be 9, and then 9 coming here. And when the result is 9, we want to say that print, for example, 4 according to the question, and break. What is this for? For here, because we enclose between two double quotations, so it is actually like a string, it's not a number. If it was 4, so if it was like this, then 4 was the number, but here we are saying 4 enclosed between double quotations. So right now 4 should be the string. We want only to print out the 4 here. Now if it is 80, in range of 80 to 89, so then when we divide it by 10, because it is integer, so it should be 8. If it is 8, what we want to do? We want to print, yes, 3, and that's it. Break. And for make the life easier, I copy for case 7. For now I want to say that another thing that I forgot here is this switch case has again, because I want to write many actually statements, so I should enclose all of them between the between the braces, a starting brace and finishing brace. Then now case 6, C out, it would be 1. Now for rest of that, we said that if it is less than so 6, it means that the grade is between 60 and 69. Now we said that if the grade is less than 60, for example 59, 50, something like that, so we want to say that 0. So how we should do that? It's like if then else. We are imagine that we are saying that if this do that, if this print this, if this print this, else print this. So for saying else in switch, so the I'm saying that the synonym of that, the something that it is actually equal to else in if then else statement, it should be the default. see out 0, and then okay, that's it. So what we said here, we are saying that here include IOStream using namespace std, then we start the main function that it includes the uh, opening brace, and then we define only one variable, we declared one variable, and then we announce to the user enter a grid, and then we read the grid, and then we use the switch case statement. We said that if the result of this, that it should be an integer, we divide the grid by 10 for finding the range. If it is, for example, equal to 10, we don't have anything for print. If it is 9, we should write 4. If it is equal 8, 3. So same as this. Now we should save, and after saving our program, we should build it. We build it, and after finishing the build, you see that all errors, they are disappeared. Now we are ready for running our program. When we run our program, we will see that okay, here you go. We will see that please enter your grade. So the sentence that it is appear for the user, imagine 96. When I enter, so 96, what happened here, it is divided by 10, so it is 9.6, but 9.6, it should be integer, so it is 9. After 0.6, it should be truncated, so it is 9. 9 is coming here, so we expect that we see the 4 here. Yes, we see the 4. Again, run it again, and it's asking us that please enter your grade. So imagine this time we are saying that 59, 15 with 4, when 59 divided by 10, so it is 5.9, but it is integer, so it is 5, but we don't have any case for 5. At least we have case 6. So after that, the default would be executed. The default is 0, so we should have the 0. When enter, we have the 0. Okay, this video is finished, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for